Did you know that according to LinkedIn, over 75% of jobs are not even posted online for you to apply to? Today's top expert, Dominic Imwali, is going to share with us his strategy about going from application to conversation to help you move up the leadership ladder. Dominic, welcome.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Love these conversations, and it's always a pleasure to get connected with a new face.
So, Dominic, what is what led you down the path of recognizing that conversation was as important, if not more important, than application?
Yeah, definitely. I lived in the space of submitting applications every single day, right? It's what we're taught. It's what, our parents tell us. It's what teachers tell us who may be behind the ball a little bit. It's what we're around all the time, and all our friends do it, and you run into people and they say, "Oh, I just applied to that." And I lived that. I wasn't getting any results. I saw other people live it. I still see people live it to this day, and they get little results. And so I did what I was good at, and I was good at talking with people. And that just led me down a whole different path of discovery and opportunities. I was able to spend time with people I never thought I'd get to spend time for, and unlock some pathways that I had never considered before. So that's kind of what kicked off the path, if you will say.
And so, as you work with your clients now, what are some of the misconceptions that they see or that they have in relation to going down this path?
I think I believe one of the misconceptions after spending time with job seekers on one-on-one coaching calls, and just like these type of conversations, is the fact that you need to provide value, right? If you scroll LinkedIn, you'll see that all the time. Oh, I need to provide value for this conversations. I don't think so. I think you just need to be able to land the conversation without, and sure, you can follow with some of that, but being genuinely interested in someone is more than enough. We're living in a world where people are hyper obsessed with themselves at times, and most people don't get asked the questions that they truly care about, right? It's more just high level. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Oh, hey, what does this look like? And things like that. And rarely does someone take genuine interest in one human being and sit down with them for 30 minutes and ask questions that aren't, oh, hey, what's this like? Or, oh, hey, no, it's how did you navigate this? I saw that you did this. Can you tell me more about your experience? Right? It's some of those deeper questions and going a level deeper than just saying, oh, hey, I need to provide value, or this person won't want to talk with me. I think you have to approach LinkedIn and this whole networking game, understanding that, right, there's good people out there and people want to connect with others. So, that's the point. We want to have other human moments with humans.
I really love that you talk about the importance of human moments. As somebody who has hired a lot of people, a lot of engineers in my career, it's amazing how people just come in and they want to talk about the topic. And the reality is, we assess people on human connection. We think it's all about the description, but it's really that human question. If you could provide somebody with one question that they should start the conversation with, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no,
What is like
this is
a
a good one.
great
I
question?
love it. I think you should come up with good questions, and something that you should know, and I've heard before, and I love this phrase, is that 30 minutes of research will put you far ahead of anyone else. Right? So if I spent 30 minutes going through Nancy's profile, I could say, "Hey, I noticed you spent time here. Hey, what was that like?" I think I'm starting from some point of research. But other than that, I think one of those first couple questions that I'm going with is, "Hey, can you can you tell me what you wish you knew before you went down this path?" I think it's super interesting for people who have, right, landed senior manager roles. They're far along their career to understand, where did they feel like they tripped up? What can you do different? Because you start to collapse time like that, right? You start to get time back, not making some of those mistakes, and that's what, one of my favorite benefits of, spending time with actual people versus applications can do for you, right? Collapse that time that you might spend spinning your wheels that other people have done ahead of you. So that's one of the questions I'm going with first.
Nice. And what I heard you say is really take some time to do some research. It's amazing. We're all online these days. And so you can see where people have gone, what has been in their job strategies. Now, one of the areas that you spend a lot of time on is LinkedIn. And if you were going to give somebody advice on how to make themselves stand out on LinkedIn so that they could really get
Yeah.
connected to the people who they want to work with, what would you recommend they do?
First, you got to start with finding content that you enjoy. Too often we sit on there and just scroll and it's like, oh, someone's getting an offer, oh, someone's doing this, oh, congratulations for that, and you get in an endless loop where you're like, get me out of this platform as fast as possible, right? Most LinkedIn users are monthly users. We're not getting a we just crossed 1 billion a bit ago, but it's still not right. People aren't using it excessively. So I think just taking the time to connect with those people and understand that, like, hey, I'm here to have a conversation and just understand, hey, where did you go? What did you do? And how did you get there?
Um, yeah, beautiful. And really making LinkedIn this place of human connection. Because we often think of it as just a business platform, and really it's a platform for humans to connect with humans about business topics. Um,
100%.
as you see a lot of noise in the area of LinkedIn, in the area of research, how can people like get it to being more meaningful in the content
Yeah.
that's curated to them?
Yeah, and I'll tie it back to the first question or the last question because I don't think it was addressed perfectly. The live in the comments when you start on LinkedIn. So you find those people that you enjoy, live in the comments just for a little bit. It's super low stakes. There's cool content out there that you probably enjoy, right? Find those people that are posting cool content and it's going to get your feed away from all those congratulation posts and whatnot, and then just start to throw out some ideas there. What do you enjoy? What rubbed you the wrong way? How can you disagree with someone on the internet and still, continue throughout the rest of your day? I think these are skills that people need to learn. And so it all starts with crafting a feed that you enjoy. I don't think the LinkedIn algorithm is as good as your Instagram Reels or your TikToks. So spending time actually engaging with people that you find cool or in your field is the best way to start, right? My field is all career coaches and then job seekers. That's what I spend time with. I've worked with construction project managers, I've worked with governmental project managers who need to get back to construction type content. And it's been funny to see their feed, and security officers and how their feed is completely different. It's filled with physical security and all of that. So it is interesting and it takes time for you to craft and spend that time up front.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've talked about with people, and that I want to encourage everybody who's watching these shows is that you need to schedule time to craft these conversations. You need to schedule the time and make it a habit to connect with people, because connection is key to your success. How do you go from having connections on LinkedIn to having the conversations in person that then lead you up the corporate ladder?
Start where it's easy for you. Start wherever you get traction, whenever you start to reach out to people, whatever that looks like for you. I think there's so many silver bullet strategies on LinkedIn. Hey, use this template. Hey, do this. And I've worked with job seekers who have done that, right? They've taken a template they find off LinkedIn, they've blasted it to 150 people, and they have nothing to show for it. And then they feel bad, right? Like they feel bad that they spammed all these inboxes. When in all reality, just pull back, think about where you've been in your career, what that's looked like, maybe what you enjoyed the most as well. So spend 5 minutes thinking about that, and then go onto the internet. And whether it's Facebook alumni groups, whether it's organizations you've been a part of, you volunteer at your church, you volunteer at a local food bank that you enjoy, and a couple people, just start with them. The people are around you have super interesting stories that honestly you probably haven't spent time to figure out. A lot of my relationships at first that helped me get in the corporate ladder, that got my first resume across the door, were me just taking interest in a teacher's past, or hey, you did that, you navigated this, how at this age, what did that look like? And so, again, back to what we talked about earlier in the call, but asking those questions that people don't get asked by their friends or family immediate, and then just getting back to, hey, this is easy for me to start. I think that's the greatest barrier to entry, because we roll our eyes and say, oh, I don't want to reach out, or I don't want to do that. We'll make it easy on yourself. Go where you're kind of celebrated first.
Yeah. The connection with who you know and then kind of ripple out from there is a perfect way to move forward and connect. And here's the thing, if you aren't willing to connect to others, why should others connect to you?
100%.
And so reflect on that for a moment. It's like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there. I heard you say that. And I don't want to get into this. But the reality is, if you want others to connect with you, you have to start that conversation. You have to be the one to say, okay, I'm going to put myself out there and move forward.
And that game applies everywhere. Why would I ask job seekers to invest in themselves and hire me as a coach if I had never gone and got hired a coach myself, right? Like, I've spent a ton of money trying to get a coach and working through things and things like that. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't ask that of a job seeker if I hadn't done it myself. And so I think it's on you to get it started.
Yeah, that's actually really powerful. You work by day for Deloitte and you work by night doing this consulting.
Yep.
You're like a double-headed person, like many entrepreneurs in the coaching space. And I'm curious because you just got moved to Jakarta. You've taken on a new role, a new
Yeah.
position. What internally in your company helps you stand out so that people say, oh, it's time to move Dominic into this role, this opportunity?
It's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. I wouldn't lie. Our first conversation was me in the airport headed to Jakarta and to relocate to Indonesia and get the opportunity to work with the amazing team over here, professionals, support the client on this side. And I think it's been a wild ride. I was making a post for it this upcoming week, and just thinking about it. I've been to India, Jakarta. I've gotten to work with just professionals globally. Uh, and I think it boils down to a couple things. I think one, taking a stand at some point in your career. My first couple careers, I didn't love what I did. I showed up and did it every single day. I did it every single day, and it wasn't pretty. And you can't collapse that time. You just have to go through it. And I did it. And I think we can talk about that all day long, but I give a lot of credit to that, being able to I did the work. I showed up for it every day, and it wasn't fun and pretty. And then I think what was next was I was willing to go talk to people I didn't know. I have a OneNote full of probably 100 people by now, of people I scheduled conversations with. Some ignored me at first, then got on a call with me and we hit it off. Some people I had to follow up with 3 times, all within Deloitte internally. And so I think spending time with these people unlocked different opportunities for me. And I just said yes for a couple years. I'm still saying yes, right? I'm on the other side of the world after saying yes to this. And so that was super powerful. And then it kind of goes with the first point. But doing what you said you would do. It's so simple, and so few people do it. There's been nights where I'm burning the oil at midnight because I said I would do this. And there's times I've learned from overcommitting as a professional and saying I would get this done and not meeting expectations. So I think those are the 3 things that I at least operate off of and have been giving credit to. Come back to me in 6 months. I'm sure I'll have a different, maybe not a different answer, but a more elaborate answer on it as I kind of think through this, because it's been racking my brain a bit lately.
What I heard you say that I think was the most important, and one of the things that I am trying to tell people, and this concept of moving from application to conversation, is you've got this OneNote of 100 people that you have reached out to. And just because somebody didn't say yes the first time, you kept going back and being like, okay, I'm going to create this conversation. And I think that is really critical as people are in the corporate world. If you want to move up the corporate ladder, you've got to get your mindset out of just applying for jobs and moving into conversations.
And
So, Dominic, it has been such a pleasure to interview you. If people want to work with you or learn more about you, where can they reach out and connect with you?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn's the best place. I'm on there every single day. Message me. I'm pretty active in my DMs, and so happy to kind of exchange voice notes or whatever it may be. But I'm on LinkedIn every single day, and I'm also on Twitter posting as well. And you can find that from my LinkedIn. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And I encourage you, reach out to Dominic, learn how conversation can help you move up the corporate ladder and create connections for the promotion that you want. Cheers and have a great day.